4th and 18. He's given time. He wants Jefferson. Climbs the...
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to week 9 of Moving the Chains here on Team NBS Media. I feel like I'm saying it every week, but I can't believe we're at week 9. This morning, Chiefs and Dolphins kicked off in Germany, and it has been very eventful for the Chiefs, holding the Dolphins to 0 points, and the defense made a huge play before the halftime. I feel like things are all going right for the Chiefs, as everybody is expected. And there's a lot of Chiefs fans out there in Germany. So let's bring out my two co-hosts, Jeff and Joe, and let's talk about, did we expect anything different?
Yeah, we expected a lot of fireworks offensively from Miami. Donut so far in the first half and leading into the third quarter. Not what we expected from Miami overseas. It looks like their offense didn't travel well so far.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think they said that the Chiefs have been there since Friday or something, like extra days than the Dolphins. So they're already acclimated to whatever they need to, time change, weather, people, you name it.
Yeah, I just thought the Miami Dolphins defense, this was a chance for them to prove to everybody that they're actually legit. I mean, you got Jalen Ramsey coming back to this team. You have a pretty decent pass rush with Miami. And it looks like this is the old school Chiefs from what I'm saying. Patrick Mahomes just dropping back and picking who he wants to give the ball to next. So I think for Miami, like Jeff mentioned, you definitely got to bring your offense to the game. But I think their defense should have had a better performance than what they've had so far. But still a lot of football to go, still early in the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for the Dolphins. Okay, I need Tua to wake up. It wasn't his fault. Tyreek Hill got stripped, and that ended up to be a touchdown. But I definitely think that at some point, I'm sure in the locker room, Mike McDaniel's like, you guys, this is not even a game. I don't understand what's going on. And I feel like a pep talk from him is a pep talk for all. I'd love to hear one day. So this week, we've got a exciting slate of games. I think probably one of the best weeks in the NFL season for this year. And we've got so many good games to talk about. So let's kick it off with Seahawks and Ravens. Now, I truly believe Lamar is doing phenomenal. He's outrageous already. He's really shown he is that guy once again, with or without whoever can catch the ball. Everyone's kind of falling apart, but he is the one to stay true. And defensively for Seattle, that is a tough task to take on. So curious, one of you can tackle whichever offense you want to hit. Who would you like to cover, Joe?
I'll go with the Ravens offense. I think you're going to make up a great point there, Ashmere, that Lamar Jackson is just throwing to whoever's got a uniform on. This is my wide receiver. What's your name? Tom? Okay, great to meet you. And Bobby? Great, Bobby. Let's get out there. And you know how to run a slant, right? Okay, great. Let's do this. And he's just making things happen. I think as much as people criticize him for not being a great passer and whatever else excuse they want to make to not call him elite, he's shutting up a lot of people and showing people he was worth every penny that Baltimore gave him in the offseason. I mean, I know I was excited for Odell Beckham Jr. to go to Baltimore. And could he take it back and be the Odell Beckham Jr. of old? That hasn't happened. Mark Andrews is still Mark Andrews, making plays here or there. I think they got a great steal in the draft, picking up Zay Flowers, a guy that I thought was on the small end, but he's still making some really good plays on the offensive side. So I think this Baltimore offense is really clicking on all cylinders, and I think Seattle's going to have to really bring their A game if they want to make this game competitive, because they could be just like the Lions were. Lions went to Baltimore, thought it was going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight, and then ended up getting beat down. The same thing can happen to Seattle.
Yeah, especially heading into Baltimore.
Yep.
Yeah, that fan base is riled up. Okay, you're going to cover the opposing defense, Jeff. So what can the Seattle defense do to combat all these positive things we've said about Baltimore?
Well, you don't have to worry about one elite receiver to take away, right? We know, yes, they have OBJ. They got. You got to take away Mark Andrews, make all those guys on the outside make big plays. But most importantly, you can't let 8 control this game. Keep him in the pocket. Make him make all the throws in the pocket. Don't let him break things down with his legs, much like you used to Michael Vick. You must rush him. You keep him inside the pocket. Make him step up where somebody's waiting on him. And that's how you slow down Lamar Jackson. He's going to break a run or two. He's just that special. However, you don't want him taking over the game like he's done the past 2 weeks with his legs and opening up everything this Ravens offense has to have that has in store for you. So what you want to do is must rush him, keep him contained, have somebody there when he steps up, and keep it to the point where he's throwing from the pocket or throwing on time from the pocket or trying to run the ball with this running game to keep them moving the football, right? You can control the tempo of the game. You can keep them under 20 points. That allows Seattle to go out there and win this game offensively.
I think based off of the energy Seattle has carried, it could be an exciting first half. But I think from that point on, Lamar's like, let's just wrap this up at home. We are winning the division, definitely dominating in the AFC. And so I feel like they're going to carry that momentum. And I mean, with or without a receiver, like we've said, I think Lamar's going to make it happen. So it'll be a very exciting matchup, even though I want to predict a Ravens win. But if we're all unanimous, then we know what the outcome's going to be. So next up, we'll talk about Eagles and Cowboys. Probably a very anticipated game. The excitement is high for Eagles fans and Cowboys fans because this rivalry is deep and these teams just keep getting better and better with time. But I feel like I was excited for the Niners-Cowboys matchup, and we all saw how that went down. Do you think that's a possibility in this matchup?
Ooh, a possibility to be a blowout, you mean?
Yeah, just Dallas's defense can't figure it out. Eagles really just take over. A.J. Brown has been playing a psychotic season. Like, he is on one. He's ready for that Super Bowl run back. So I'm just curious. You guys think that Dallas's defense can kind of collapse again?
Hard for me to say this, especially wearing a Commander's hat, but I'm going to say no. I think that Dallas has learned their lesson, that they know they got to take these primetime games and these big matchups a little bit more seriously. I think the one thing, I guess I'll take the defensive side of this matchup, that Eagles front seven is just ferocious. I mean, they go like 5-6 players deep, former first-round draft picks that can apply a lot of pressure. Whereas with Dallas, yes, we know they have Micah Parsons, who's probably going to be Defensive Player of the Year unless somebody comes and takes it from them. But the Eagles have multiple players that they can bring at you on the defensive side. So I think for the Eagles, you just got to put the game on Dallas to run the ball. Don't let Dak get throws. Don't let CeeDee Lamb get started. Apply pressure, get Dak to be uncomfortable, and then force Dallas to run. You shut that run game down. And then, like you said, Ashmere, let A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, and the rest of those guys take care of things on the offensive side. But I think for Dallas, you got to really protect Dak, and you got to be able to create some kind of running lanes because this Eagles defense, in my opinion, is vastly underrated. They're a lot better than people think they are.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. So you took the defensive side, right?
Yep.
All right. Hit that offense, which I think is a very easy task for you, Jeff.
Well, I don't think this is going to be anything like the San Francisco matchup because it's not like the San Francisco matchup. Two very familiar teams, division rivals. They know each other very well, play each other twice a year. And if you look at the record the past 10 years, it leans heavily towards Dallas. Okay, Dallas has usually had Philadelphia's number. Dak Prescott has owned Philadelphia for the most part. I think he's lost 1 or 2 games in his stint as quarterback of the Cowboys versus Philadelphia. Most of the Eagles' wins in recent years have come when Dak Prescott wasn't in the lineup versus Dallas. So when you look at it, these two teams know each other very well. They play each other very well. They're always knockout, drag-out games unless one of their quarterbacks ain't on the field. Last year, these teams split, and the reason why they split, neither one of the starters were on the field when they lost to each other. So this is going to be a matchup where you look at the Dallas offense. Yes, they're going to struggle to run the football versus the Eagles. There's a hard interior to block. They're going to have times where their protection is going to struggle against Philadelphia because those two edge rushers are hard charges off the edge, along with that pressure coming up the middle. The good thing for Dallas is you have Tyler Biadasz at center. You have, of course, the stout Zach Martin at right guard. And you have the young Tyler Smith, the young bull at left guard. So you have power to match power on the inside. The question is Tyron Smith playing? If he isn't, you have Chuma Edoga at the left tackle, which they're going to have to help him out versus this Eagles pass rush. Terrence Steele on the right tackle has his issues with some speed rushers, particularly the Eagles, but for the most part, he can hold up for 4 quarters at right tackle. But the blind side for Dak Prescott is a question if Tyron Smith is a no-go. But you got to look at it. Once again, the receivers are getting better and better in better timing with Dak Prescott. Their tight ends are getting healthy. I think that's going to be the X factor for the Cowboys in keeping up with the Eagles' offense.
All great points. I think the return of the defensive players that you mentioned is really going to help this team feel that energy, right? It's hard when you lose guy after guy after guy, week after week.
Yeah.
And you're trying to build off of these backup players to carry that energy that your starters usually carry. So I think this is my most excited game for today. I honestly didn't turn my phone on silent. I can't wait because I've been down on my fantasy team, and I'm really hoping that he blows it up out there.
I want that before we move on.
Okay.
The Dallas offensive line has only played 2 games with their full starting offensive line the past season and a half.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. Definitely, they're definitely new, but not new, right? Because they've been on the team.
They're relying on backups a lot.
Yeah, it's been, I think them and the Buffalo Bills, which is a great transition, have gone through a lot of injuries. So getting their players back slowly but surely, I think that'll carry them into the second half of the season. So Bills and Bengals, another nice AFC matchup. We've got 2 quarterbacks that are doing phenomenally. Joe Burrow is looking just like himself. I think that's like the headline of the century right now, is that he's playing great football once again. And Josh Allen is just going to Josh Allen, meaning he's going to throw the ball whether you like it or not. And it could be a pick six. It could be a touchdown. I feel like that uncertainty makes me a little weary of the Bills. And I think that the Bengals defense can really capitalize on that problem. So pick your side, defense, offense.
I'll go offense this time, Jeff. I'll let you go first.
Okay, no problem. Well, let's talk about the Buffalo defense, right? You've got to stop this prolific Bengals offense, their young gunslinger at quarterback. How do you do that? Well, first thing you do, pressure Joe Burrow. You have a plethora of pressure players up front. Greg Rousseau, AJ Epinesa, okay? Von Miller back. So you have guys that can impact Joe Burrow in the pocket, okay? You're not going to worry about their running game taking over. It's all about Joe Burrow, all right? So what you've got to do is go out there and make his life rough for 4 quarters. He's going to make some throws. He's going to make some plays. That is the animal that you're facing in Joe Burrow. The easiest time to get the best of him is when he's injured. He's healthy. He's playing a lot healthier. He's playing a lot better now that he's healthy. That calf seems to have healed up pretty well. He's moving well, going on the run, doing all the things he did to get this team in the playoff runs time and time again the past couple of years. So if I'm Buffalo and I know this is a playoff matchup for us, we've got to go out there and make plays. So what I got to do, get those guys off the edge, screaming hard, putting pressure on this Cincinnati offensive line that's known to give up sacks, known to let Joe Burrow get hit. Rattle him as much as you can in the pocket, make it rough on him, make him turn the ball over a couple of times, give my offense some extra possessions. That's how you're going to be able to go out there and get the W this week.
Beautiful points.
So the offensive side of the ball, I'll start with Buffalo first. I think you need to establish some kind of a running game because everyone's going to expect Josh Allen to go back there and throw the ball 35, 40 times. Mm-hmm. If you can get a running game and kind of make the defense think about it a little bit on Cincinnati's side, I think that's a win for you. I think that you also have to get Stephon Diggs the ball early and often. I mean, he's clearly their best receiver, and we also see how he reacts when he's not involved in the offense. Temper tantrums have been known to be had. I think that Ashford brought up a great point, though, with Josh Allen, man. Damned if you do, damned if you don't with that guy. You never know when he goes back to pass. I mean, I just talked about him going back to pass 35 times. How many of those are really good ideas, and how many of those are close your eyes and hope for the best type of ideas? But I think it's really important for Buffalo to establish the running game because Cincinnati's defense is tough, and you want those guys to have to think about and hesitate. I mean, when you have a second to think about is it a run or a pass, that second could be the difference between a touchdown pass or an interception. And I think when you're on Cincinnati's side of the ball, you just faced one of the best defenses in the NFL. At least that's what I thought. And the 49ers defense, and it made it look pretty easy. Jamar Chase is playing great. T. Higgins, all those guys are hitting on all cylinders. You're even getting the tight end involved. Joe Burrow's back to being healthy. I think if I'm Cincinnati, I just keep on doing what I've been doing. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. I think the Buffalo Bills defense is pretty good. Von Miller seems to be rounding into shape. But I think if I'm Cincinnati, just stick with the script. The stuff we've been doing the last couple of weeks to get us W's, we keep on doing that. And if you're Buffalo, you've got to run the ball. We do not want Josh Allen throwing the ball 35, 40 times because he has to, maybe because he wants to, but not because he has to because of a lack of a running game. If the Bills aren't running the ball, advantage Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think, honestly, the run game is going to be stronger for both of these teams, just based off of everything you both explained. You guys did a great job. We ran through all 4 of our games in under 20 minutes. I feel like that is a record for us because we could be gabbing about a lot of things. I think all these games are very straightforward, right? There's important tasks for the defenses to do to tackle these teams. The Seattle game is like, we're just talking to talk. We know Lamar's going to blow it up, right? Like, I think that's just like an obvious choice. But if you've been watching Moving the Chains, you know I love to throw curveballs at these guys. So last week, the Raiders had a lot of crazy news. I feel like we should talk a little bit about the Raiders game today. They're going to play the Giants, who are also in a losing season. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts and opinions about the firing of, Josh McDaniels and the GM, and just having the rookie start, getting Jimmy benched. It's his birthday week, right? A lot of stuff was happening in Las Vegas. And I want to know, do you think this is going to give the black and silver an edge in the right direction?
I guess my main question is, what took so damn long? I just think that Josh McDaniels was not the right guy for the job. I thought that when he first I thought after the whole John Gruden, Mike Mayock debacle, Davis should have took his time, picked somebody who he thought could really do the job. To go with the retread, I thought was a bad mistake. I think he should have gone with somebody who was a young up-and-comer. I think you saw that evidence in the way the Raiders played. I think that he thought, Josh McDaniels, that having Jimmy Garoppolo as quarterback would be easy. He knows my offense, played for me in New England. It won't be a long transition. In a week, this guy will have the offense down pat. And he didn't. Jimmy Garoppolo is a great game manager, but I did not see him as a guy who's a leader of men. He takes a guy who carries you to the Super Bowl. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not a Joe Burrow. He's not Jalen Hurts type of guy. So I think there could have been other things that could have been done in the quarterback position. But I think this move, Mark Davis really, I hit him between the eyes. Man, my team is a mess. I got the aces over here. Shout out to the ladies, winning back-to-back WNBA championships. And my money cow, the Raiders, can't get out their own way. I've been making a lot of mistakes. I just got to hit the reset button for a third time, but this time I have to get it right.
Yeah, let's hope he does.
Well, I'm going to say this about the Josh McDaniels situation. What did we expect? Okay, Josh McDaniels, when he went into Denver, got rid of the franchise quarterback in Jay Cutler because it wasn't his guy. Brought in his guy, didn't work out. Okay, he's not a personnel guy. You paired him with a guy who's supposed to be a personnel guy, who let Josh McDaniels do the same thing again. I don't need David Carr. I can go out there and win with, my guy. He couldn't do it. So he goes out there and gets Jimmy Garoppolo. Couldn't do it, right? He is not a personnel guy. If you wanted to bring in a GM that was going to come in and make these decisions for him and then go out there and let him just coach the talent he's given, he may have had a better chance. But because you have a lot of these assistants that come from the Belichick tree that think they know personnel, that think they could do what Bill Belichick has done in New England, every time they go somewhere, this is what you get. Okay, so shame on the Raiders for tripping over that same crack in the sidewalk that the division rivals fell on. All right, that was a mistake. Now, where do you go from here? Well, Antonio Pierce is now your interim head coach. Okay, here's a guy who's worked on staffs in the pros. He's worked on staffs in college. He was just in Arizona State with Herm Edwards. Has a little bit of that Herm Edwards fire to him. So he's going to do his best to fire guys up. No doubt about it. This is the perfect team to fire guys up for because the Giants are in disarray. Okay? They are straight disarray. Okay? So, granted, they went out there and last week almost pulled it off. So, this is not going to be a gimme game for the Raiders. We're going to have fun picking this one when it comes to rapid fire. I don't think we should have a consensus pick. And I'm getting nervous with our consensus picks, by the way those have been going. But, Yeah, this has got to be a thing where you let him come in here, you let him show that he can coach a football team. Maybe it gets him a job somewhere. Antonio Pierce is not going to be the answer for this Raiders team going forward, but you want to give him a chance to showcase his talents, so maybe he gets this opportunity in the future. That's what this is about when you're hiring interim guys in a situation where your team isn't good enough to compete. So let's see if Antonio Pierce gets that part done. But if you're the Raiders, your coaching search starts now. You should be taking notes on the candidates.
Yeah, I 100% agree. There's too much talent on this team, and there's like people that don't want to leave it. So especially signing Josh Jacobs at that contract they gave him. Max Crosby literally has the helmet tattooed on his body. Like, there's just too many individual pieces, and they need one person to bring them all together like a melting pot. And I'm hoping I'm going to choose the Raiders to win. Obviously, if anybody thought differently, that's silly. I think that somehow they pull off like a field goal win at the end in true Raider fashion, just figuring it out. It's ugly football, but they kick it. It's over. Thank God Vegas is celebrating. So that leads us into our favorite part of the show, rapid fire. So I'm going to start listing off games. You guys let me know who you think are going to win. Let's kick it off with the Germany game. You think Miami's going to come back, or what's happening?
Well, it's 21-7, 5 minutes left in the third quarter right now. Man.
I don't think they're coming back. They may make it close. I think Kansas City will put up a score and kind of put it away. I'm going to stick with Kansas City. And listen, you shouldn't have fallen behind 21-0. You need to wake up and try it and come back in this game. It doesn't always happen. When it does, it's special. I think they waited too long to wake up in this one.
Yeah, I'll go Chiefs as well.
Yeah, okay, we're unanimous.
What was our record last week? Jeff's supposed to be the tally guy. What were we last week?
Give me a couple of minutes. I'll find
out.
Okay.
Homework assignment live on the show.
Live on TV. What is your all right? Titans and that was already happening. Vikings and Falcons. I think the Falcons can take this one away.
Yeah, I'm going to go Atlanta. Former commander starting at quarterback. I'll stick with Tyler Haneke.
For me, I really do want to go Minnesota. I know things are turning up for them, but not that much. Not with what's going on at quarterback. I'm going to go in Atlanta. I think Atlanta pulls it off. Not that I'm saying Josh Dobbs is bad. I think Josh Dobbs is a very good interim quarterback for a team, but he just got there. So I don't think he's coming in and magically, assimilating the whole playbook and implementing it, doing all the things. He may do a couple of nice things, but Atlanta, this is your bounce back game.
Oh, we're unanimous. Okay, we're starting off great. Bears and Saints. If the Saints don't win this game, when is someone going to tell Derek Carr and change the play schemes that are coming up? Because I can't keep blaming him after this just happened in Vegas, because now it's been true. Derek is not the problem, but sometimes I just have to blame him, if that makes any sense.
I'm going to go Chicago. I like that rookie quarterback. I think the kid's got some moxie. I think the Bears pull it off.
I like Chicago, but you know what? I ripped the Saints offense 2 weeks ago saying they weren't explosive. Where is the explosiveness? What's going on with this coordinator? In the last 2 weeks, they've been nothing but explosive, going out there, putting up points, finding big plays. I think they get it done against Chicago.
Okay, good. You and I both.
Lone Wolf.
Rams and Packers. Ooh. Matthew Stafford is out.
Thank you for bringing that up. I'm about to ask.
Yes, and he should be. The beating he took versus
every week.
Yeah, I mean, but the one last week was bad. They had to how they tried to keep him in that game, I don't know. But can Green Bay come to life this week, right? We've seen this offense flounder for a half, decide to wake up when they're down and trailing in the second half. The Rams are going to come out. They're going to continue to do what they do. I don't think they're going to score to the lengths that they do with Matthew Stafford. But they got two legit receivers out there. that can go out there and catch the ball on anybody. So right now, if I'm looking at this Green Bay, it's up to you to go out there and take this game from the Rams. I want to lean towards Green Bay, looking at the Rams, thinking that, you know what, I don't know if they're going to be able to go out there and get it done versus these guys. But you want to know what? I don't have any faith in Green Bay's offense right now. So I'm going to stick with the Rams. It'll probably prove me wrong.
Man, this is tough because Jordan Love looked so good those first 2 games. And I was like, oh, the transition from him to Aaron Rodgers is going to be smooth. And then he had that great comeback against Atlanta. And then after that, it's been just garbage from him.
So much for the quarterback gurus, right? These quarterback whisperers.
Yeah. I'm going to go Green Bay. I think Jordan Love gets together. And I don't think the Rams can put up enough points. I go Green Bay.
I'm picking Jordan Love too.
Oh, the world should be shaking right now. We all pick the Packers right now. You got to feel good if you're.
I mean, I think it's their home game.
The way things have been going with our consensus picks. It's been very shaky. We've been sitting here every week going, man, we all thought this team would win, and here they are.
The moving the chains chat will be on fire, I'm sure, by like 1:30. What was I thinking?
All right, Commanders and Patriots. I think if the Commanders don't take this home, Joe, you need to not wear that hat next week.
Not just that, but there was a rumor going on that they might even try to like give draft picks to New England to get Bill Belichick to come be the coach.
No.
I mean, I hope that's a lie. We don't need him. We don't think that would be a good move at all. But no, I'm going to go with the Commanders. We got too many weapons, man. New England's offense is kind of like a hodgepodge. At least we have people I can name on our offense. So I'm going to go with Washington.
Be careful what you wish for. You just traded away half your defensive line, right? And so
some picks.
It's going to be a tough matchup. I'm going to go with the Commanders. Very, very shaky on that one with the fire sale you did on your defense halfway through the season. Your defense is underwhelmed. It's not because of the pieces. I think it's because of the leadership. I just think that you need a new voice in the room. Yes. Listen, Jack Del Rio's been a very good coach over his career in the NFL.
Get him out of there.
Sometimes the game does pass you by. You're a little behind at times, and he's starting to look that way with what's going on with the pieces that he had. To have those 2 guys on the edge, to have those guys up the middle, to have those young corners that you have, and you're still giving up 20 to 30 points in games. There's something wrong with your overall scheme and how you're utilizing the guys and how you're setting them up to succeed. It's not happening for the Commanders right now. I'm going to take them, but I ain't exactly putting the house on that bet. That's a dollar bet for me.
There's only one game that we have chosen differently, and that's Joe picking the Bears so far.
And breaking news, Mahomes just fumbled the ball like on the 20-yard line. Miami recovered, so they have a chance to make it maybe 21-14 perhaps. Got to score first. But they got the ball in the red zone already.
I'd love to see the Chiefs lose, so rooting for that. The Bucks and the Texans. You know, Baker Mayfield has really shined a bright light in Tampa, and I think I'm here for it.
Yeah, you're going Tampa?
No, I just said a good thing about it.
I covered this. I covered this.
CJ Stroud for life, okay?
Look, you're off the train already.
I covered this on Bucks Weekly this week. Listen, this Bucks offense is looking like the Bucks offense from last year. Different coordinator, same song, right? They're struggling to run the football, struggling in the red zone. On third downs, inconsistent. Long drives are a problem. Reason being, even with the change at quarterback, even with a guy who's more mobile, even more than a guy who brings a lot of juice, different from the Tom Brady energy, but his own kind of energy, you're still having the same issues. It's still a very defensive-oriented team. And one of the reasons is they still don't have a matchup problem inside or a strong running game to free up those 2 guys on the outside and let them explode. That's a problem. Against Houston, they got to come out. They got to confuse C.J. Stroud if they're going to win this game, right? So they got to come out and get a lead. No more playing even, playing ahead. They've got to play ahead because they played even the last couple of games and then fell behind. So the Bucks have to grab an early lead, build on that early lead to finish this game. It's going to be hard against Houston and C.J. Stroud, but I think their defensive scheme does enough to confuse them into a couple of turnovers that help them get the win.
All right, Jeff's got the Bucks.
Oh, I'm still on the CJ Stroud train, baby. Houston Texans, man. They're gonna pull it off somehow. A Michigan guy rooting for an Ohio State quarterback. That is happening.
What is happening? All right, Cardinals and Browns.
Oof, yeah.
Well,
God.
You get Deshaun Watson back for Cleveland. Unfortunately, you don't get Kyler Murray back for Arizona. And now it's going to be a rookie starting for Arizona as well. So my ball is going to be in Cleveland's court. I think that defense gets it done.
Yeah, they're just getting.
I think Watson starts to get back into the field of things this week. I think it's going to be Cleveland's matchup.
Yeah, that Browns defense is just too talented. They're not going to let themselves lose this game. I go Cleveland as well.
Okay, unanimous. Colts and Panthers.
Oh, we were unanimous? Oh, God.
Colts and Panthers.
They're like the top 5 defense in the league. There's no way. Rookie QBs like their breath, right?
Yeah. Well,
Colts and Panthers.
Speaking of rookie QBs, getting his first win last week, Carolina, against what we said last week. Once again, it was one of those consensus picks that went wrong. All right, we kept it real and it went wrong, right? Well, I'm going to go with Minshew and the Colts on this one.
Nice.
I'll shake it up a little bit. I think Bryce Young gets it done again.
You know what? I picked him up for fantasy, so I'm rooting for him too because I don't have Trevor Lawrence this week. So great. We're finally opposites. And
Nice.
do you think the Raiders pull it off or what?
Who's the quarterback for the Giants? It's not Daniel Jones. What's this guy's name? Something Italian.
Yeah, because Tyrod is hurt too. So I won't say there's no way, but I'll say the Raiders should not lose this ball game. No Waller for the Giants either. They should not lose this game, the Raiders. They do have Saquon.
Shut the run game down, force the rookie to throw the ball 10 or 15 times. The Raiders should win this game.
And Josh Jacobs, just run all over him.
Yeah.
If you listen to Max Crosby, he's supposed to be special. So, yeah. I'm almost tempted to take the Giants because I don't know what they expect from the Raiders with what happened the past week.
The offensive coordinator for the Raiders too, right? Because everybody got fired.
Yeah, well, not everybody, but the offensive coordinator had to change because it was the head coach basically calling the play. So
that will be so depressing.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting look in this game. Maybe Wink Martindale's defense comes up with a big play or two to help the Giants pull this one out. I'm going to go with the Giants, another shaky pick that I wouldn't stand on with more than $1 bet. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Giants on this one.
All right, Monday night, Chargers, Jets. Chargers, baby.
Fireworks in this one, right? The Chargers offense, we know what it is. Kind of underwhelming performance so far for this season for the Chargers. I would say a lot of people, kind of concerned about the record. Head coach definitely feeling the heat from the seat. But the Jets, everybody, we had these guys, forking them, pretty much wrapped up and put in the freezer that's done, warm them up next year, but here they are back in the hunt for playoffs, right? Zach Wilson not playing horrible. They're running the heck out of the football. That defense is the defense. It's hard not to pick the Jets in this one.
Okay.
So who do you pick?
I pick the Jets.
Oh, well, I mean, as the former president of the Zach Wilson fan club, I got to go with the Jets.
I would like to see Justin Herbert win a game and get to 500. So I'm going to go for the Chargers. And update, Raheem Mostert just scored a touchdown. So things are looking up in Germany for the
man.
Yeah. Like I said, they're going to come back, but I think they're going to put it away. They're going to get the score to put it away. This is typical Kansas City. If they ain't blowing you out, they're keeping you in the game.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true. All right. Well,
I need one more touchdown. I need one more touchdown pass from Mahomes for my DraftKings to hit.
Okay. Well, then we want a high-scoring game, people. Let's get it going.
Sure.
I need another Raheem touchdown if we're asking for things. Beautiful. Well, another exciting week. I can't believe we're at week 9. Thank you, guys. It's been real. And thank you, everyone who has tuned in. We will see you next week. Enjoy all these exciting games. Have a fantastic Sunday. And we'll see you guys soon.